Hi there, Simon Hancock's here in Morocco for BikeSocial at the launch of Triumph's new Tiger 800. So we've been lucky enough that we've spent 2 days here in the foothills of the Atlas Mountains that you can see behind me, riding two versions. We've ridden the road version, that was yesterday. So that's got a smaller front wheel, it's more road biased with its tyres. It's also got slightly less travel on the front and rear suspension, and the front and rear suspension is not the WP units that you can see on this bike here. On road, it's really nice. The engine is superb, loads of character. It's got bags of torque, all the right places. You can just, put it in third gear for some of the mountain switchback roads we're riding and just ride it like an automatic. It was so tractable and nice to ride. A couple of things I'm going to take away from this bike and the road version. The screen is phenomenal. You can ride along at motorway speeds with your visor up, and the screen on its highest setting, I'm 5'7", so probably a little bit shorter than some of the other guys here, but absolutely no buffeting. My eyes weren't streaming. It was really phenomenal. Bikes are all tricked out. We've got heated seats, we've got heated grips. So yesterday we rode through a blizzard, probably came down to about -1 or 2 degrees up on the mountain there, and it was absolutely spot on. Really happy that we had those additions. And then today we've been just riding this bike, and we went out over the dunes, over the back of the mountain there, and spent about 3 hours and covered, probably getting on for about 60 or 70 miles on them. And it's such a phenomenal bike to ride off-road. It really belies its weight. You can flick it around, it's got so much power. The traction control system, it's tuned in such a way that you can be a real idiot with the throttle and it will just scoop you up and pull the bike back into line and get you back on the right path again. It's a really clever system. The WP suspension on this was probably a little bit soft for some of the terrain that we were riding across. There were some really fast sweeping stretches where the bike began to sort of wallow about, but then we also came to some stretches where there was really deep clay in the bottom of riverbeds, and you were really happy that it got all that extra travel just to really sort of nurse you through those harder bits. If I was going to own one, I would probably have to go for the road version. The off-road bike is phenomenal and it looks amazing. I mean, with all the kit on it, all the crash bars, the fog lights, those big knobbly tyres, it looks absolutely awesome, but it's compromised on road. We did some miles yesterday on this bike on just the normal mountain roads, and it was a bit wallowy, and sometimes you go into a corner, you brake and it dives that little bit too much, and then when you release the brake to tip it into the corner, the suspension had come up and you're riding a chopper effectively. You'd have to do a lot of off-road miles to warrant buying this bike, or you just have to learn to live with it. And you could get to know how it rides and understand it better and just live with it and learn to love it. But for me, the amount of off-road riding that I do is nil, basically. So if I was going to have one, I would go for the road version. Prices start about £9,000 for this bike, so there's a heck of a lot of technology and a lot of bike for your money. You can spec it up. I think this is the top spec XCA version, which I think is around about £12 to £13. Even so, some of the PCP deals that you're going to be able to get on this are going to mean that it's probably around about the £200 mark a month. But absolutely phenomenal bit of kit. Thanks to Triumph for having me, and read the full review on BikeSocial.co.uk.